Haunted Graham Mansion. We are the only haunted attraction that really is haunted. We've had paranormal investigators here for 10 years, and we have thousands of EVPs and video recordings of paranormal activity. If you just Google Haunted Graham Mansion, they'll pop up. YouTube, all over the internet. One of my favorites that I have probably hundreds of recordings of is a male voice that says, "Get out." So, let me tell you a little bit about who used to live at the Haunted Graham Mansion. Before the Grahams were here in the 1800s, Joseph Baker lived here with his family, and he was a distiller, and he was murdered by his slaves, Bob and Sam, in 1786. He wasn't just murdered. They sliced his head open with an axe and ran off. And of course they were found guilty. And they were sentenced to hang, which they did, and the legend is they were hung here on this property. Well, that is really good stuff for ghost stories. And so people here have always said they see Joseph Baker wandering the property with an axe through his head. Whenever David Graham, later known as Squire David Graham, buys the property, he is living in Joseph Baker's cabin and using the outbuildings. So he starts to amass his fortune here. And by 1830, he decides to marry. And he marries a wealthy young lady who's from Poplar Camp. Her name is Martha Bell Pierce. 1838, the firstborn is later called Major David Graham. He is born then, and he's lived in this house all of his life. Their second daughter is Betty Ann Graham, later Robinson, and she is a fireball. We have these signatures all over the house. In her room, there's a beautiful etching made with a diamond on her window, and it's the initials of her daughters and some of her nieces, and she signs it M. Bell Pierce, February 24th, 1864. So we're wondering if this is her message from the grave to us. So that's one of the mysteries of the mansion that we write about in the Legends of Graham Mansion book series. And we just finished our 5th book, Revelation. About 10 years ago, we started doing events here, a music festival called Grand Fest. And then about 5 years ago, we started doing the Haunted Graham Mansion, which is strictly Hollywood. It's very popular. It's a haunted house attraction. We'll have about 15,000 people come this year. It's very, very popular. People on tours who've described a bride, that they see a woman in a white dress and a white veil who roams the property, and we have a room upstairs that we dedicate to the bride because someone came and took a picture of that window and sent it to me, and they said, "Who is the lady in the white veil in this window?" So we pretty much dedicate that room to the bride. We don't know who she is. She doesn't ever talk. Sometimes she hums, and sometimes she cries.
Squire David Graham, and the one time I had a really memorable experience with him was in the slave quarters, and he's pushy, he's shovey, he's hateful. He doesn't want you on his property. And if
You just
you're
don't like it.
if you're a woman, you have no place here, like unless you're with a man.